Alyssa Moolah, Mae Young. I mean, those two ladies represented courage, determination, and they've overcome all the obstacles in a man's world. And they've taken the lady wrestler to the next level. They can call it sports entertainment, but they're professional wrestlers. They were entertainers. There are people that go out there and put their body on the line. Well, Mae Young entertained people for about 70 years, folks, and she enjoyed it. She's been wrestling since she was like, I think, 18 years old. You know, she grew up on the farm type thing, and all, and her family never really believed in wrestling. When she was a kid, she grew up watching it on television like everybody else. I remember years ago watching a documentary about Mae Young, and that's one thing you WWE fans around the world, you know, universe, what do you want to call yourselves? But I know you guys are all fans. I know you love professional wrestling. And that's one thing she brought to wrestling. She brought fun to it, the love to it. And that's why the fans appreciated her, our co-workers appreciated her, her family appreciated her the most. And that's what's most important, you know, your family. And, you know, I'm telling you, man, Mae Young, there were some moments there when I was watching the 90s with Mark Henry. It was fun, you know. Eric Bischoff, you know. You can go on and on. You talk about all the greats, you know, Vince McMahon, you know, go down the line, you know, Stephanie McMahon and stuff. You know, they did some segments with Mae Young, and it was fun, you know. She just brought character and fun to it. And in her later years, you know, she really enjoyed life. She really enjoyed entertaining fans all over the world. And I just got to say to Mae Young and her family, um, rest in peace. And my love goes to you guys because you guys are the real deal. The Young family, you just stay strong and remember she's in all your hearts because she really loved life to the fullest. So Mae Young, rest in peace. Now I got some news on your new network, the WWE Network. Wow. You know what? I took a read at the press clipping of the new Wrestling 24/7 network. Will be launching February 24th, 2014. I just got to tip my hat to them. Way to go, Vince McMahon, Stephanie, and Triple H. You know, Paul and Steph. But, you know, way to go. I mean, you guys have really turned it around. Linda, Shane, you know, Stone Cold, you know, everybody. John Cena, Batista, Dave Batista. I mean, you guys have all got it done. You know, you've come a long way, WWE. I can remember in the 90s when you were going up against WCW in the late 90s when they almost put you out of business and you found your way back. You managed to buy all your competition in WCW in 2001, and wow, it took you this long, Vince McMahon, to make a network? Oh, man, that's too long. Way too long. But you finally did it. With all the video library you have now of OVW, NWA, maybe not all the NWA, but you have Smoky Mountain Wrestling, you got the WCW archives, you got Raw archives, WWF archives, ECW, countless other independent promotions from the 70s and the 60s you'd be able to put on that network. I even heard rumors that they're going to probably put on some cruiserweight division on the WWE network. One thing I've been reading recently, according to the Wrestling Observer, that the WWE Network will be hosting live coverage of the Hall of Fame, where they're going to introduct. I don't got solid info, but it looks like one of the greatest of all time is going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame, and it goes by the name of "To all my warriors out there. I felt that I could do what I could do. I know I'm the best there was, but I can't. I know you warriors out there. I know. Well, I know Ultimate Warrior is going to be on my case after this, but let me tell you, Ultimate Warrior, I want to say congratulations on making the Hall of Fame. That's not 100%, but that's what I'm hearing. So we'll see what happens. And the man, come on. Hollywood, come on. Hulk Hogan might be introducing Ultimate Warrior into the Hall of Fame. So I just got to say, Jimmy, congratulations, buddy. You made it back to WWE after that disastrous DVD that they tried to do, and apologizes from me and from them. I just want to say congratulations, Warrior. You're still the man, and the Warrior Nation is always in here, man. I remember I was a kid, you and Hulk Hogan going at it. It was sweet. It was amazing, and there's no doubt in my mind those were the good old days. Even kids nowadays, will never come close to what it once was. But let me tell you, I will always remember those days as someone that loves wrestling. And believe you me, I love it. If I had the money, I would buy me a wrestling promotion. And I'd try to push it and make it as fun as it used to be. I'd bring back bullet points. I wouldn't need the writers anymore. I'd let a lot of them go. And I would let the wrestlers create their own character. I let them try to do it their way. You know, I mean, I like to have a few writers around, but I just won't use the writers as much. I let them go back to Hollywood and bring back TV shows that we really need to see. I mean, wrestling, you need the wrestler to create the character, and then the fans will accept the angle and accept the character. Instead of having all these lines and agents and all that stuff, we should just go back to bullet points. Think what's up on your mind. Let's create it. Just use your imagination to create your character, to be yourself, persona, you name it. Cut amazing promos. Just, just thinking about it, just go to the pub or something. If you're on the road traveling, you guys come up with a new idea, and that's what makes a great wrestling storyline. Now you see some of the storylines in TNA and WWE. It's kind of corny. It's not believable, but if they brought back the old bullet points, I guarantee you, both promotions, man, their ratings would be going through the roof. They'd be doing 7s and 9s. You know why? Because it would be fun. It'd be like, it wouldn't be scripted. It would be bullet points. It'd be right to the point. And I think it would be a real success. Well, on some wrestling news I've been hearing, it looks like AAA is going to be coming to United States sometime in March. Mark Burnett's behind the big project, along with Conan, one of the biggest stars from the WCW days in TNA, and his WWE days back when he was real young. So, I mean, he's going to be involved. So it's going to be pretty cool. Mark Burnett, he's the creator of Survivor, The Apprentice, and what was it, The Shark something? The Shark Show with Mark Cuban and the rest of those big wigs, are throwing out money for new inventors and stuff. So, Shark Tank, that's what it's called. So, I mean, Mark Burnett, I think he's going to do an amazing job. I think this is a AAA, it's Lucha Libre, basically, Mexican style wrestling. They're going to try to North Americanize it, USA it a little bit. They're going to add some little twists and turns to it, good storylines, great matches. I mean, that's what we miss in wrestling. Great matches. That's one thing TNA used to deliver. When they had that X division, they were pushing it. They had the six-sided ring. It was explosive. It was fast-paced. Same thing in the WWE when they had the Cruiserweight division. It was fast-paced. It was fun. It was funny. It was cool. They were creating young, new stars. They were small, pint-sized. It didn't matter if you're Funaki or Gregory Helms. You were Jamie Noble. Even in TNA, you had P.D. Williams. You had AJ Styles. You had, who else? Kid Cash. You had Jerry Lynn. I mean, even Samoa Joe competed in the X Division and won the X Division. Recently, I was listening to Conan and Samoa Joe talk some wrestling and some football and whatever, and they said, pro wrestling's not easy, but they just do it anyways. It's their job. They love it, and they've had some good trips and, just doing things that they do. So, hey, it is what it is. And that's why I remember growing up watching wrestling. Even at my age, I still love it. I mean, I always have. I just wish it could get back to what it once used to be. But I realize, we have so much other things going on in the world nowadays. When you have baseball, you have football, you have hockey, you have Olympics. You got so many things going on. I just got to say, folks, at least watch your wrestling when you get a chance, man, because it's still getting good. And I wish the WWE Network all the best. I mean, their stock's up $17. They're looking good. Just be careful, be very careful. Beware of the banks. They might sell you out. So, what I got to say about Vince McMahon? Good job. You've turned it around, Vince. I've heard some rumors of Sting maybe going to WWE. Hulk Hogan's name has been popping up. That he might be at WrestleMania. I don't know. I can't confirm nothing. And I got some breaking news. It looks like Jake the Snake Roberts, there is some talk that he might be a major character in the near future in the Daniel Bryan Bray Wyatt affair. So we'll see what happens. Jake the Snake Roberts, that guy, one of the greatest of all time. I remember when I was a kid, him with that big python snake, he'd bring it in the ring. I remember Marvelous Rick Martel. He went in the ring with that, and he scared him half to death. I mean, it was amazing. I know in the 1980s, 1988, 89, 1990. When he used to bring that snake to the ring, the fans are just like, whoa, they couldn't believe it. He was a real snake. So, I mean, Jake the Snake Roberts, and he had a move called it was like a sleeper hold. It was a snake sleeper hold, and it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal, And he had Ted DiBiase with his $1 Million Dream. I mean, those guys were awesome. They were bigger than life. Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth. I mean, I can go on and on. Yokozuna, they're even doing some videos on him, documentaries. Chris Benoit. There was a lot of greats that came through the 90s. The pipeline from WCW, WWF, Japan. I mean, Japan really helped a lot of stars that you see in the wrestling right now. You look at CM Punk. I mean, he went to Japan for a bit. There's so many guys that have went to Japan and wrestled. Daniel Bryan, I think, went for a bit to Japan. There's a lot of guys that you see are on top right now that have wrestled all types of styles. That they have their own style that they're wrestling now, and they're entertaining all the fans around the world. When you look at Ring of Honor, they got so much talent coming up. You look at the likes of Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, and it looks like they might be popping up on television tonight in TNA. So keep watching TNA tonight. Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. I think these are probably the best signings they've made in a long time. After losing AJ Styles, Hulk Hogan, and countless others, this is a positive move for TNA moving into the future. This is what they need to do. They need to rebuild. They need to find a new home, maybe go on the road for a little while, find a new home. I say Los Angeles, Universal Studios out in Los Angeles in the near future would be a good place for them. It might be a little expensive, but I personally think them on the West Coast might get a few more ratings. A few more people might watch it on the West Coast than on the East Coast, but you never know. They're going to be on the road in 2014. It is expensive, but they've cut a lot of payroll. And you want to know something? The broadcasts are getting better. The ratings are starting to move a little bit. But, I don't care about the ratings. As long as you put on a good show for the fans and it's believable, and boy, it's going to be a good show. I've been watching that show since 2005, TNA, and I still love it. And I always will love it. WWE, same thing. I've been watching that since 1987. And it never ends. WCW since 1996 to now. Actually, 93 to now. Now it's over with, but I still watch some classics on YouTube. And now they have their network, so if I could ever subscribe to it one day, if I have money, and we'll see what happens. I get to watch more and more WCW and some classic WWF. Some of those matches back in those days were fun. It was some good psychology. When you really think about it, wrestling fans, it was a lot of fun. That's what sports entertainment's all about, man. I think they've gone too sports entertainment. They need to go back to the fundamentals. They got to go back to wrestling. I think that's what Jeff Jarrett and his new promotion's going to do with Toby Keith. I think it's going to go back to the fundamentals, southern, old-style wrestling, where you had Harley Race and all those legends like Dusty Rhodes, Art Anderson, and countless others. Jerry the King Lawler, Conan. I mean, so many of those great talents. That's what we need. So I just want to say, everybody, Happy New Year. This is Mark Spencer saying so long. Thanks for watching, and rest in peace. Mae Young, you are the best. We will never forget you. Bye-bye.